Okay, hello everybody and welcome to another video review, this time for a game called Warframe. Now, I already made this review like over 10 freaking times, and the last time that I just recorded it, which was yesterday, actually went very well. The footage was very good, but then when I upload it to YouTube, I see, oh, the resolution, oh, it's terrible. Is like stupid, and then it's like, oh, you get a copyright infringement, which means the whole video is muted. So I'm really pissed off about that. So I'm gonna try and make this video as short as possible and cover most of the points that are important. And there's a lot more that I'm not gonna cover. So if you're gonna be like, oh, you forgot this, it's just because I'm saying right now, I know there's a lot more to this game, but it also gives you a chance to play the game for yourself to see if you for you to find those things and to enjoy this game. So Warframe is a Warframe is a third-person free-to-play action-adventure game made by Digital Extremes, who made games like Dark Sector and The Darkness, but don't quote me on that because I don't know, and hit my freaking mic because I'm an idiot. And so Warframe doesn't really have a story. You could say that it has a very loose story, because Warframe's story is like revolving around quests that don't really have much of a story to it, but they are starting to try and fix it by adding cinematic quests like the Second Dream, for example, which is the most recent edition with the update 18 that came like 50 days ago. Never mind, 73 days ago. So the Warframe doesn't really have that good of a story, so if you're going into this game looking for a story, you're not gonna find it because it is a free-to-play game, hence it focusing more on like the combat system. So that's basically all I have to say about the story. Now, the gameplay is very good. I like it. It's fresh, but also familiar to other people who've played third-person shooters. And when you first start the game, you're given a choice between a few Warframes, which basically the characters you play in this game are not like characters that you play one character. They are these different Warframes that you can build or buy, and these are like all the Warframes that I have. I have basically all of them except for like the Prime version for Mac. So when you start, you're given a choice between 3 Warframes that you're given for free when you first start the game, and it's Excalibur, which is this guy, which is described as a perfect balance of attack and defense for new players, which he is, and I picked him because he is like, because I just thought, let's just go with the recommendation, and it worked. And then the second choice you have is Mag, which her powers revolve more around like magnetism and whatnot. And then you have a last guy, if I can even find him, called Volt. Pay no attention to that. Volt. That was the Prime version. Never mind. So you were given between, and Volt's powers revolve a lot around electricity and such. So those are the 3 Warframes you're given at the start, and in my opinion, playing this game for over 1,500 hours, I would recommend you to get Excalibur, because like the description says, and like I said, perfect balance. And plus, he's like the hardest to get. He's like, you get the blueprints to make him on like the last planet that you unlock, and Volt can just be made from the clan tech. Yes, there are clans in this game, and that's my recommendation anyway. But you can do whatever you want, choose whatever character you want. So these are all the Warframes, and each Warframe has a specific set of abilities. Like this one is like very ninja-like, because he's like the ninjaest of the ninjas, because this is like a game that you play a space ninja, and then you have Atlas, which is kind of a newer frame. He's like revolving around a lot of Earth attacks and whatnot. A lot of Banshee revolves around a lot of sonic attacks, and Ember, a lot of fire attacks. Frost, as the name suggests, a lot of ice attacks, and like you just have so many options. There's so much variety that you're not going to get bored. I mean, you will get bored if you try and go in this game free to play from the get-go without spending any in-game real money to get in-game currency, because you can do that since this is a free to play game. So you can either play free or pay to kind of play, but most of the more powerful weapons you can't really buy, but you still have to play the game in order to even be able to play with them. So, yeah, you can't pay to win. I think that's how it's called anyway. So, let's just move on. So these are the characters, and you can also have little companions with you called sentinels that you can have, like this guy, or this guy, or this guy, or this guy, and each of them have different abilities. Like this one's just basically damage dealing, this one is good for crowd control, this one makes you invisible, this one whatever, I have no idea I can't remember what he is. This one's new, I think he like shocks enemies or whatnot. This one scans targets for the codex so that you don't have to, and the carrier, in my opinion, is like, in my opinion, your opinion might differ, and I'm sure a lot of other people's opinions differ. In my opinion, the carrier is the best sentinel, at least for my gameplay style, because it picks up all the loot, the resources that drop from enemies, the mods, the credits that you can see. You can like you use credits to buy a lot of things and make a lot of things, and it's like it sucks up all those things for you, so you don't have to run over them and pick them up yourself. And then there's also, oh, actually don't have it. Okay, and each sentinel also has a weapon. And there's also prime versions of these Warframes, as you can see here, Frost Prime, and prime versions of the weapons. These are all the weapons that you can get, and these are only like some of the weapons that are like in the market, and some of them that are in the clan tech. Like some weapons you can only get in the clan tech research. So these are a bunch of weapons. There's assault rifles, shotguns, grenade launchers, sniper rifles, whatever that thing is, bows. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that you can, a lot of stuff here to do, like I said, of how many hours I put in it. And then you can like always have at least one primary, a secondary, and a melee equipped, and each melee weapon is like comes equipped with a stance that changes the way that you use the melee weapon. Like if I didn't have this, then I wouldn't be able to do these combos that will like increase the damage with a certain amount of strikes that you do with the combos. Like a certain combo that you do will do more damage than if you would just button mash with the melee button. So that's the melees, and you can like choose, like these are nunchucks, you can choose pole arms, you can choose swords and shields, even though they're not that good. You can be Wolverine if you want, I guess. There's great swords, there's one-handed swords, there's a gunblade, there's axes, there's hammers, there's scythes, there's katanas, there's sword and whip weapons, there's a glaive from Dark Sector. Anyway, there's like daggers, dual daggers, there's the newest like rapier weapon that just came out, there's like so much, there's fist weapons, anyway, it's like there's so much in this game. It's so big, so massive. And then you have emotes, which is pretty self-explanatory, and then you have gear that you can equip. These restore ammo, health, shields, whatnot. These are other things, and that's basically all that you can take on you with missions. And this is basically your ship that you get when you first start the game. You get a ship when you first start the game. Orders, will you please shut up? Okay. And here you have your codex for information for enemies and weapons and whatnot. Here is like news that updates you. You can click it and find out what's new. Here is a PvP called Conclave. I never really played that much. And then you have syndicates, which is basically AI-controlled clans. Then you have your codex, like I said. And here is basically the market where you basically buy all the like weapons that you can use to make yourself stronger. So you can either buy the blueprints and make them with resources. For example, if I want to make the Tipido, I need a kunai, other weapon called the kunai, a secondary weapon called kunai, and a melee weapon called the bow. I need 1,600 polymer bundles, 2 neural sensors, and 20,000 credits. On top of the 20,000 credits, I need to actually just buy the blueprint. So you can either do that, or if you can't be bothered, just go and buy the weapon with actual plat, which is the premium currency in this game that you can either buy or make through the trading chat. So that's basically how you get weapons, and the way you level up, which is your mastery rank in this game, as you can see I'm mastery rank 19, is like every weapon can go to level 30, and when you max out a level, you get a set amount of mastery rank, and if the bar that you see there fills, it will start blinking, and you can do a mastery rank challenge, and if you complete that, you can rank up, which means, like, say if you're mastery rank 1, and you rank up your mastery rank 2 until you get to the maximum, which is right now, as it stands, the maximum mastery rank you can get is 21. 21? Well, whatever. Anyway, so that's basically, I think, it. Except for, like, now we get into the complicated stuff. It's like every when you go out on missions, the enemies you kill have a chance to drop mods for your Warframe, primary, secondary, and melee, and your carrier and companions. So, mods. What are mods? Mods, obviously, mods, short for modifications that you can put in your Warframe and weapons to make them more powerful. Like, these stats, if you go to, like, and have no mods, these stats are kind of terrible. So, if I were to go against a level 90 enemy, I would not be able to kill it with this setup. But if I add mods, and as you can see the blue dots at the bottom, is how many times this mod can be ranked up to make it better. Because like this mod that increases just raw damage is like, if it's rank 0, I think it gives like either 15 or 5 or 10% damage. But if you rank it up to max, it can give you a lot of damage. So it's like certain mods increase critical damage, certain mods increase critical chance, and then you can make elemental combos to give your weapons even more damage, and certain elemental combos are better for other factions, because there's 3 factions in this game. Some of them have armor, some of them have shields, some of them are just flesh units. So you'll need the proper, to quote a YouTuber called Rob, you'll need the proper elemental combos to deal the optimal amount of damage. So that's basically what modding is. So you basically find mods from fallen enemies, and occasionally you can get them as a mission reward. Now, there's also another way, the way you actually rank up mods, which I'm trying to get through this as fast as possible, is you go to your modding bench, or whatever you want to call it, and for example, if I want to increase ammo stock, which increases my magazine capacity for shotguns, I have to select it, and then I can take, jeez, where is it? Take it, where is it? Okay, let's take, for example, if I want to increase the rank, I can either take fusion cores, which basically just increase the rank of the mod a lot quicker and a lot with a bigger they increase it a lot faster, especially since, like, you know, gold mods, you can just like choose this, and this bar shows how much this mod ranked up with the mod that you chose. Or you can just use useless mods that you're not using anymore and just pump those into there, or you can just auto-contribute doubles or auto-contribute fusion cores, and it will automatically contribute fusion cores or automatically contribute doubles of this particular mod. And then when you select something to fuse, you can, like, you see the rank, and then you have to spend some credits in order to upgrade it. Now, I'm not going to get into, like, how you get more capacity for your weapons, because that's just going to take too long. So now I'm just going to go into some gameplay, because that's mainly the main focus. And another thing that I forgot to mention is that when you start the game, there's this actual person, this woman that contacts you and basically saves you, called Lotus, and she basically guides you and helps you in your missions so that you don't die. And she's basically like the only friend that you've known apart from your ship Cephalon, which is basically the person who, like, runs the whole ship and whatnot. There are also very varied game modes. There's rescue missions, defense, survival, interception, exterminate missions, capture missions, and there's a lot of different things that you can do. And like I said, there's a lot of enemies, and there's 3 main factions, which are the Grineer, which basically are the brute force type faction that think anything can be accomplished through brute force. Then you have the Corpus, who are like the greedy bastards of the game who think anything can be solved with money. And then, of course, you have the infested that are just basically space zombies. And then you have just the wild animals that you can encounter. Then you have the corrupted, which are basically a mesh of the corpus and the grenier and the infested together that you find in a certain place on the map that I can actually show you right now, which is basically like, this is the solar map that gives you access to all of the mission nodes. Like, you go to a planet and these are the nodes of different missions you can do. And then if you go to the Void, which is basically where you get prime parts for the prime warframes and weapons that I was telling you guys about, is like you need to find keys but through missions or get them as mission rewards, and you can go into different towers, and they range from tower 1 to 4, 4 being the hardest, 1 being the easiest. And there's different rewards that you get for completing each mission. Like if exterminate missions, you get a reward after you finish that and whatnot. So this is where you also meet the corrupted enemies and also where you get primed parts. So that's basically what the solar map is, and that's how you do your missions, and like I said, they're very varied. So I'm gonna jump into some gameplay, and then I think I'm gonna end the video here. Like I said, I just wanted to make this quick because I'm pissed off that the video didn't work, so I'm just gonna record some gameplay. I'm gonna put some music. I hope you enjoy it, and I definitely think you should try this game. Like I said, it's free, so there's no reason you should not try to you should not try it because it's free, and if you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. You could just move on and play a different game. So in my opinion, it's definitely worth a try. Just like that how that old saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover. So just know, if you want to play this game completely free, it will cost you time. So either it'll cost you money or it'll cost you time. So make your choice and just have fun in general. So that was me, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.
Hey! You know what this